And here we go. We have another guy talking about it. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I say come to my channel first and you'll get the first 2 minutes. It's just a quick review, rapid review. So now that it's heating up, now, of course, if you knew why I'm around technology, so many, not just for cell phones, but the majority of my work is technology, especially in the computer science. It's that the foldable phones are coming out, and we've known this for, the 21 with the Duo, especially for foldables we're talking about right now. Then they had this thing which is called the trifold, which it's ridiculous. But I'm just going to go with a recap the first 2 minutes so we don't waste time. And then you can leave after 2 minutes or in about a minute. So they have the trifold that came out. So it has two hinges. It folds out to a 10-inch display. Then they have the Fold 7 that came out in August or July of 2025. Now it folds. It's called the Fold 7. This is the 7th generation of it. 2025. Made the screen a little bit larger, but it's still too narrow. And from the Fold 6 and down, it was way too small for me. But the Fold 7, it's about the same size as any regular size, not like an XL, not an Ultra, not a Pro Max, but just the regular versions of it. So about the 6.1 to 6.3, maybe 6.4, because I've had the foldable for the Google Pixel 9 and the Google Pixel 10. They have the same width of screen. But anyway, what they're talking about right now is that, Apple, they're going to come out with a foldable phone, but it's going to be shorter, about 5.5 inches, and it's going to be widest it's ever been, right, than any regular phone, which is a 3.29 inch. So it's going to be more than 3.25. And what's so special about that is that it's going to be the widest phone. But you'll have that, what people are been saying is that once you open it up, you have more width. So that's best for just larger apps when you're doing split screen. Maybe, I'm not saying this is possible, but since Apple does it, I'm thinking that they're going to have some kind of, for their OS systems, they're going to have some type of something, because they don't want to mix it with the iPad. They don't want to mix it with the mini. So they're probably the iPad mini. So they're probably going to have to come out with some feature that's, what I'm thinking is just when you can click on a button and it goes full screen, the app, and then you can click on another button and it gives you a selection of different things that iPad doesn't do. That's just something, because you're paying, like, this phone's going to be very expensive. So hopefully not. But yeah, have you seen, it's ridiculous. So right now what they're talking about is the Fold 8 wide, that when the Fold 7 is going to be the Fold 8, then they're going to make another variant. It's called the Fold 8 Wide, and it's going to have the similar specs. Now, the Google Pixel, and that's it. Now you guys can go and leave. But what I'm going to get into more is what's controversial. What is for some reason I can't say that right now. But anyway, the controversy is that why, and I think Samsung's going to lose a lot, because we've been asking for a wider, if you look at the narrow screen, we've been asking for that for the last probably 7 years, and they just don't make it any larger. But you're glad to have a foldable phone, right? Like a screen that's one large screen that can actually fold, and then now you can have a 8-inch screen, which they should have done this variant at least 3 or 4 years ago. But anyway, they didn't do it. And the reason we say that is because the OnePlus Open came out, and then you had the Surface Duo, which they could have done it if they just had more resources, I guess. And then for the Google Pixel, they had that idea, is to do a 3-inch wide, and even back then in 2023, it was perfect. But now looking at it, yeah, if it could get wider, a 3.29, I think that's just going to be future proofing. The reason why is because now when I go back to the Google Pixel and then 2023, the original one, the first one, first generation, it's crazy because it's actually not as big now as, larger phone like a Pro Max or the XLs, some reason you get used to it, and it's like, man, I kind of want this now. Like I want this bigger size in a foldable, and so it's just getting used to it. If you do whatever you do in certain ways, people use their phone different ways, but if you're going to do gaming or you're doing multitasking, a lot of times if you can split the screen, or you can do it the other way. If you're watching YouTube videos, you can go up on top and then on the bottom do a Google search or look at something, messages, whatever, something text, whatever. Then you can split it here and have one app going, scrolling whatever, or something else on here, doing something else, or just keeping up to date, or just kind of going back and forth where you don't have to close an app and open it, where you can just go on this app, read what you read or see what you see, and then search on something over here, or just go through anything else without exiting, this app and or minimizing it. You have full access to whatever you want to open or whatever you want to pair. Now that 8-inch, I'm fine with the 8-inch, honestly, with the Fold 7, but I know that the foldable, it's too narrow. And you guys know I had it. If you don't go back in the videos, you'll see it on my TikTok especially. It's too narrow, and it's because I came from the Pro Maxes, I came from the Ultras, I came from the XLs on Google. So it's just like the bigger screen. I don't know what it is. It's not really just to see, it's just larger. You just get more accustomed to it. I mean, it's like driving a car, and it's super, handling's different, but then when you have a pickup truck, it's just bigger. I mean, it's more that you just get accustomed to that room. You get accustomed to an SUV, you know what I mean? It's just that larger space, if you're hauling something, and that's what it does. It's an extension of your life. And when you have a foldable, it just does more than, it depends if you need it, obviously, but anything that you're looking at, you don't have to exit out of stuff, and you can look on two things. If you're traveling, you can look on navigation, have something else open. You never have to actually exit out. You can have both, music thing over here and something else over here, or you could have both as well. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, why the controversy is because we've been asking Samsung to do this, as instead of so narrow, make it wider. And I think they flopped with this trifold, because if you have the Fold 7, it doesn't have a great battery life. So even if you're using the bigger screen, you're lucky if you're playing anything. I mean, even Roblox, you're down to maybe 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5 hours max if you're just doing it on something else. But if you're gaming, all that battery's going to drain like you wouldn't know what's coming. That thing's not going to last. It's not going to be, you would literally need like 2 of those. And the battery is extremely small for that 8-inch screen, 43 something hundred. And we heard Apple, they said, oh, we're going to make one, but we're going to make one with a 5,500 milliamp battery. And that bad boy, I mean, that's something more of like what an iPad can do, and you know what they can do with the iPad. So like even from that price, even their entry level, like the A16, oh my goodness, dude. Like, I mean, that's going to beat any Android just based off the price and based what you get off that. I mean, we're talking about 3.65 gigahertz, right? And anything under that, anything even from that price match, if we're looking at 300 down or 200, even 100, there's nothing that with that, you're lucky for the best to come at 2. Mostly you're at like 1.618s, and especially when the Android, if you're using the 4 or even the 8 gigabyte RAM, that's nothing compared to the 4 gigabyte. And I know they're going to upgrade it next month to the 8 gigabyte, and that's just right there. I mean, that's because of the future proofing. You're going to have that you can have that for 5, 6, 7, I mean, forever, basically. And so that's what's so wonderful about that. So Apple knows that, and but the terrible thing about the Apple Fold is that it's going to be super expensive, and that's the thing. If they could bring it down, you would see a lot of people. I mean, it's just an easy switch, but if it's at that price, nah, people are not gonna. That's one of those things. It's like you think you're going to lose money, but you're not. You're going to sell more than you ever sold before. If you market that price down, completely different than the Google Pixel 10 or the Fold 7. Oh yeah, I mean you would. I bet you could sell 10 million plus easy, easy. I guarantee it. But they're not going to do it, and I wish they would because you would see that number. I mean, that's like 4 or 5 times the amount that they would actually sell versus putting the price at what the Fold 7 is or even higher. That's ridiculous. And so, no, I don't think it's worth that price because a lot of stuff, the things that you think you're going to use on it, like, oh, I'm going to use this as an iPad. Well, heck, you could buy an iPad. You could buy a MacBook. Like with that price, you could buy all that stuff. And I'm not talking about the minimum. I'm talking about the maximum amount. You could actually buy a brand new iPhone and then a brand new iPad or a MacBook. Like it's crazy price, dude. You could buy both of them. And then if you have some spare change, you could buy a gaming console, Xbox, a PS5.